In this video, we're going to be discussing brand new WWE action figure news, man. We got a brand new gallery dropped on us, and I want to give a huge shout out to Mattel for making this video possible and sending us this gallery early so it would be able to drop right at the time that it is dropping across all platforms, man. But let's get into it. I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get into it, man. We have brand new figure images here, and let's start things off with WWE Ultimate Edition Series 29. This is going to be the wave that features Dominic Mysterio and Umaga, and I do believe both of these are up for pre-order right now on Ringside Collectibles. Use code MDTOYS to save yourselves 10% over there. But man, I'm pretty blown away by this, man. I think this crushes his first Ultimate Edition. Love the head sculpts. Of course, we did see this in prototype form at Comic-Con this past summer, a couple months back now, and this looks really good, man. I love that we're getting the t-shirt that wraps around his waist, but it's in cloth goods. We have not seen that before, so I'm excited to see how that all unfolds, how that works. And the head sculpts look really good, man. I love the tongue-out head sculpt. I love the gear, the boots. They're not giving him the damn Jacob Fatu clown feet. I'm loving that as well. I think this figure is a big standout, man. I have dude, Dominic has become just one of my favorite parts of TV. So I love this. I think this is a great looking Ultimate. Cannot wait to get this figure in hand. Very excited for it. Love the wanted Dirty Dom. I'm hoping we get an Elite with that shirt that's not, for the waist wrap. I want to see that in other form, but dude, the gear is sweet. The figure looks sweet. I like this a lot, and I think that this is really, really good. And then we also have a look at Umaga, and dude, this Umaga is this was one of my favorite figures that we saw back at Comic-Con as well. By the images, it looks like his torso is a different color than the arms, but that could be, that could be just a, who knows? That could be lighting issue or whatever. May not be like that in person, but I'm loving the head sculpts. You get the Intercontinental Championship. You're getting the waist wrap. Very good-looking figure here. Very excited for this one as well. Again, we've known about this one, but man, I love to see them in finalized form instead of the, the prototype form, but I'm loving these new head sculpts, the face paint. The Intercontinental Championship is clean. This is a sick Ultimate. Very excited for this, man. I want to see more Ruthless Aggression Ultimate Edition. I got to see it, but Umaga is one. I cannot wait to review this thing. I'm very excited for it. So we have a look at Umaga. Now, the thing about these two figures is I could have sworn, wasn't it reported that Cody Rhodes was going to be in this wave, or there was kind of rumblings of that. I'm guessing that maybe that got pushed back, or maybe he's going to be in another wave, or maybe they had to move him somewhere, but I wanted to say that it was going to be Cody Rhodes in this wave, and then he was going to be a Chase as well, so I don't know what's going on there, but Dominic and Umaga look really good. I'm excited for both of these. Both of these together as a wave are just head and shoulders above some other waves that we've seen in the past, so I do like that a lot. But we also have a look at the new upcoming Ultimate Edition Coliseum collection of King Kong Bundy and Jesse Ventura. Now, this is a big set because, first of all, first time on the line, Jesse Ventura. If you look at every, all the different Jesse Venturas we're going to be getting this year into next year, apparently all the figures you're seeing in this video today are going to be early 2026 releases, but I do believe that's going to be about retail. They're going to hit retail shelves like Walmart's and things like that in 2026. I think the rest of these are going to be hitting Ringside and other websites before the end of the year. Like, surely, we have a couple months here until the end of the year, but this set is so special because we're getting our first time on the line Jesse. I imagine this will be the first Jesse Ventura Mattel figure that we have in hand for the first time. So this is the first Jesse Ventura that we're going to be able to hold in our hands from Mattel, and it looks really grand. This was one of the big surprises at Comic-Con. We do know we're getting an Elite or a couple of Elites. We know we're getting another Ultimate Edition, and so that was huge news. And then we also have King Kong Bundy returning to the line for the first time in years. It's been over a decade since we've seen him, and I think this is huge. Finally getting him in Ultimate Edition form, returning to the line. Another huge shocker at Comic-Con that nobody really expected, but I am looking forward to this set so much, man. The Jesse Ventura, that is a guy that's been on my checklist for so long. The head sculpts look really good. The floral gear is the gear that I've been wanting out of a Jesse Ventura, so that looks really good as well. This is a sweet figure, man. You'll also notice that they are continuing on with the Chase Edition stuff. So you're going to be getting, the blue card as the regular, and then you do have a chance at getting the black card Chase variants, which I think is very interesting, and I'm looking forward to, seeing if we can track that down. There are no differences between the two. It's just the packaging, so don't worry about that. Don't worry, am I missing out on a piece of the figure or whatever? But across the board, man, you're getting so much newness. There's so much newness going on here between King Kong Bundy. Those legs look to be new. The boots are new. Torso's new. He has 4 brand new head sculpts, or maybe that one yelling one all the way on the right. I do believe that might be a retooling or a redo of the previous one, but he's also coming with a Velcro-less shirt. There's just a lot of value here in this set. I am very excited for the King Kong Bundy and the Jesse Ventura. I think this is a set that really is making a lot of noise, but that is your Coliseum collection. This is the next Coliseum collection after the Ultimate Warrior and Honky Tonk Man that I still don't have yet, so that is a set we got to track down. But let's move on, dude. We have images right here of Elite Series 123, and we got to discuss this one first. We're going to be discussing Roman Reigns. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, what's so special about this Roman Reigns? There's a few different things that we have to talk about with this figure, okay? So if we start out with the head sculpt, this is an old Roman Reigns head sculpt, okay? This is a Roman Reigns head sculpt that has been used many times before, so I don't want you to really analyze that because I think that is why this head sculpt is sitting so high on the torso. If you look at this head sculpt, it is an older Roman, and I'm thinking that's why it's sitting up. But you'll notice this is that new torso that we're going to see on the new Top Picks Roman Reigns that went up for pre-order just the other day. You know, the Roman Reigns that we've been hyping up, the CM Punk wave, that Top Picks there, that is that figure just with a different head sculpt. So what I'm thinking is at Comic-Con, it didn't seem like that prototype was sitting too high up on that torso. So what I'm thinking is that those head sculpts for that Top Picks figure were not necessarily ready there, so they had to go back to an older head sculpt, and I don't think that head sculpt, the peg hole must not be deep enough because it's sitting really high up, and you can tell in these images, it does look a bit off, but you'll also notice not only are we getting a brand new torso, you know, that same torso that we saw tooled up at Comic-Con, we're also getting newly sculpted gauntlets, man. Newly sculpted gauntlets. So the gauntlet is brand new right here. The sculpt is brand new. It is not the same gauntlet we've seen for years and years now. It's removable on both sides. You're even getting the tribal pattern in the padding, so on that red right there. I highly imagine they're going to do WrestleMania 41 gear for either an Elite or an Ultimate. Hopefully it'll be an Ultimate, but I guess I would take an Elite. I really don't care. You could easily swap the boots and gauntlets. It wouldn't even be a big thing. But I'm just excited to get a new head sculpt. I hate that they had to use this old head sculpt, but they are giving you a OTC shirt here. It's not the hoodie. It is kind of just a t-shirt version of the last Elite Roman Reigns we got, you know, with that hoodie. I think it was Elite Series 120. So you're getting a redo of that figure, but you're getting newly sculpted things, and they are giving him the Ultimate Edition boots. So you'll notice his boots are the red with the red outsoles on the black boots, which I think is a clean look. It's just, I don't know, man. This figure's not perfect, but the head definitely sits up high. But I do like some of these new additions. I'm liking the way the torso looks. I'm liking the way the gauntlets look. I think this is pretty solid. I'm excited to see how it goes. It's just the head sculpt doesn't sit low enough, I think. I think that's what's kind of throwing me off here. But let's get into the next figure, man. We have Drew McIntyre. Now, we kind of speculated that this Drew McIntyre, we were like, okay, well, if Drew McIntyre's in Elite Series 123, I'm hoping that it's going to be a promo gear, but it looks like it's going to be another wrestling gear. But they did go with a different take. It is his green and black. I think it's very similar to his Money in the Bank gear, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember, but this is a new head sculpt. Very good head sculpt. I feel like Drew McIntyre, man, his figures are very similar, but they're all pretty good. For the most part, I mean, for going on 20 plus series now, every Drew McIntyre we've gotten has been pretty good. Now, they are going with the older skin tone, you know, the Finn Balor skin tone instead of the darker skin tone, and he is coming with some cool accessories. There's no cloth goods, but he comes with a wrench, which looks to be a brand new sculpt. That's a first time in the line item right there. And then he's also coming with a breakaway table, so that is pretty cool. I think this is based off of his, maybe Raw's Netflix debut, but it looks like his Money in the Bank gear from 2024, so I don't know. You can let me know what you think of that. But Drew McIntyre's there. You're getting a mainline Drew McIntyre. We're also getting a look at Smash and Axe. So we're getting Axe and Smash here. Updates of their previously done figures, man. I like the boots. I like the head sculpts. I mean, these are kind of, if you think about it, they're very similar to Greatest Hits, quote unquote, right? They're very similar to that, where they're taking those old figures, they're upgrading them, they're giving them some good upgrades here in the modern day. I'm liking the way they look. I know a lot of people have been waiting on these guys to get back in the line. Their figures have gone for astronomical prices in the aftermarket, so getting them here is really big. I like the entrance gear. The face paints look good. Overall, execution of these is pretty damn good. I don't know if I like them using the kind of standard arm mold. I think they could have used bigger arms, but not the biggest deal to me. I love the way the boots look as well. These are solid entries right here, man. I think, again, people are going to be ecstatic about this. You're getting two flashbacks here in this wave, and I think that these are two figures that people are going to be really happy for, like I said. I think that, I mean, that just goes without saying, and they look good men on card. I think Axe and Smash are definitely, I mean, dude, this is why I was talking about Comic-Con being so good, because they brought back so many names that people have been wanting forever. King Kong Bundy, Axe and Smash, just so many first times. I mean, they really have knocked it out of the park. But Elite 123, we're getting Demolition back in there. And then we're also looking at the Lost Legends. Not Lost Legends, let me clarify what I'm saying. man, before you jump off a bridge here, Brad. I'm talking about the Lost Legends figure, because I do believe the Great Khali, this Great Khali, was advertised as a future Legends figure, like a Legends Elite, and then we got no word on it, and then they came out later and said that it had been moved to the main Elite line, and now we're getting it here. So that's why I was calling it a quote-unquote Lost Legends. I know there was a Lost Legends wave back in the day, but this is actually kind of technically a Lost Legends figure. Now, we are getting a brand new yelling head sculpt that looks really good for the Great Khali. I am kind of sad to report that they did not retool anything. This is the Build-A-Figure Great Khali, just with a different head sculpt. It is a brand new head sculpt, and then we do have the black pants, which I think for me, this is my Great Khali. When I think of Great Khali, I think of black pants Khali, and coming out World Heavyweight Championship, I think this is really, really cool. They are giving him the classic version, which makes sense because it's got the scratch logo. It even has the Great Khali on the belt itself, and it would have been really funny if they could have turned it upside down in the packaging just for, you know, kind of an Easter egg there, but I'll take it. I think it looks good, man. I'm excited for the Great Khali, even if it's not as big as we want it to be. I love that we're getting Great Khali in the main Elite line. Always for some ruthless aggression, man. Ruthless aggression, as sad as it is that, you know, he's got standard choke slamming hands and fists, and, you know, there's some different things here that aren't great or represent Khali. I'm still excited for this, man. I'm excited for this. I've been waiting on a Great Khali Elite, and we're finally getting, you know, that debut look, or that look that I've been wanting, so that looks good for me there. And then we're wrapping up Elite 123 with Nikki Bella finally returning to the line. Now, there's some interesting things here, man. I'm excited for this. We kind of pitched it, you know, is this going to be an upgrade from her last Elite? You know, it's been a while since she's been on the line. This is the best Nikki Bella that they've ever made. I love the jersey, the hat. The head sculpt is a repeat of the Elite 70 head sculpt, I think it was, or Elite 71. And it looks good. It was always good. She's got some bicep bands in there. The top is newly sculpted, it looks like. You have some newly tooled lower legs, it looks like, as well. You got some sneakers, some high tops. Gonna have to, I believe she was wearing Dunks that whole time. Usually she wears Dunks to the ring, or some Nikes of some kind, so maybe we can customize those. Really good looking figure, though. Really good looking figure. I bet it's going to pose well. I think this is the best Nikki Bella that Mattel's probably ever made, and you know, I think it's going to be great, man. The shirt is really nice, or the jersey, quote unquote, with the Fearless on there looks nice. I'm excited for this one. I think this is going to be great, and I was actually there for this. I remember her walking by me down the ramp. This is Royal Rumble 2025, so getting that in here is nice. I like the Nikki Bella figure, though. Let's get into the next bit of news here, though, as we look at it. We are looking at the next basic wave of Basic Series 162. Now, we did see these on display at Comic-Con. We're getting a farewell tour John Cena here with the UK flag. Very cool shirt. I am going to track all of these down, okay? So these are going to be a buy every single time I see them at retail, you know, trying to get all those shirts in there, trying to create the display. They're using that Fast and the Furious Hollywood Elite head sculpt, which makes a lot of sense. I wish that it came with the hat, because it would, you know, get the full gear in there, because if it doesn't include the hat, it's like, man, that really stinks. But I don't hate it. I think it is a good basic. I like that it has a lot of elements and stuff like that. It doesn't look flat or anything, so I'm all aboard any John Cena's they want to give us. And then we also have a Uncle Howdy here, which the mask looks a bit green here. It looks a bit repainted from the Ultimate Edition that we reviewed from Series 28 not too long ago. And it doesn't look bad, you know. I mean, without the hat and the jacket, it looks a little weird. I think throwing the hat in there would have put it over the top, but, you know, we are getting an Uncle Howdy basic here, and it doesn't look half bad. It looks a bit flat, but you are getting that gauntlet on there, and I bet it's removable, so maybe you could play around with that. We're also getting a Promo Gear LWO Rey Mysterio, and this is an interesting mask. You'll notice that it has the grayed out mask here. I kind of like this face sculpt, though. Comes with a cross necklace, kind of a Promo Gear Rey Mysterio. I really wish that, I know that they like to put the Promo Gears in the basic line or the main event line. I'd like to see them implement more promo gears, or more non-traditional looks or wrestling gears of talent into the main Elite line. Like, give this as an Elite. Now, I know we had it in the LWO 5-pack, but I would really like to see it, like we discussed with Drew McIntyre, or Roman Reigns in a tracksuit, or, you know, they've done Cody Rhodes in a suit. Like, things like that I think are fun, so I'd like to see that more implemented in the Elite line. But we also have a look at Dragon Lee, and I actually got to see him, or meet him, in the booth while he observed this figure, and it looks pretty good. I like the mask. The black and red is cool. Kind of plain Jane. If I see this in person, I'd probably grab it. I like the head sculpt enough to maybe try to make an elite conversion or something. I like the bicep band as well. So, I don't know, man. This may be an underrated one. Kind of plain Jane, but the boots have a lot going on. You got that bicep band and stuff. And then we wrap this wave up with Kairi Sane, which we also saw at Comic-Con. And, you know, she's got a newly painted head sculpt. It's kind of a repaint of that elite figure from not too long ago, which looks pretty good. I mean, it's plain gear, but I think it gets the job done for Kairi Sane. And then we're getting into a very odd one, man. We have some main event showdown packs here, or championship showdown packs, whatever you want to say, of Jey Uso and Braun Breaker. But, dude, that does not look like Braun Breaker. That looks nothing like Braun Breaker. I don't know who that is, and it also doesn't have the tan. And it has that black gear. We may be looking at a worst figure of the year, man. This figure does not look good. This Braun Breaker doesn't look good to me. Plain gear, it looks nothing like the character. The tan isn't the new tan. The Jey Uso is actually also kind of just a redo of the Jey Uso that came with the Drew McIntyre in that most recent set that is found at retail. The championship with the Jey Uso side plates is nice. I do like the gold on there. It kind of looks more realistic, to be honest with you. But that Braun Breaker is woof, man. I'd like to know what you guys think of that. That's an interesting... Dude, that looks nothing like Braun Breaker. That's insane. This is definitely up there for worst contender for figure of the year to me. But we also have Dominic and Liv. Now, if you look on the shirt, I think this is the shirt around Dominic's waist of them kissing, which I think is crazy that they actually put that on a figure. This is an interesting pack. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't know, it's like the paint apps on these head sculpts looks a bit off, but you are getting the Women's Championship, I do believe, with the Liv Morgan side plate, so that may be something you want to do there. But I do like that it includes the t-shirt around the waist there. You could put that on an Elite. You have an updated Dominic. I might be into a stage, and I know it's kind of a crazy thing to say. I might be of the camp that gets every Dominic as I see it. So, I don't know, man. I might be into that. We'll see about that. But that is the main event showdown pack there. And then we wrap this setup with New Day. You have New Day in that green and white for Kofi. And then we have Xavier Woods, and they come with a microphone. Not the most exciting set here. I don't know. It just seems... I don't know. I think it's because, you know, when I think of them now, I feel like it's been so long since they did that heel turn, and then we haven't really gotten any figures of that. And then here they are again, and they still are in their smirking old head sculpt. I'm pretty sure that... Dude, I'm pretty sure that is the Elite either 43 or 52 Kofi Kingston head sculpt, and that Xavier Woods head sculpt is also very old now. So these head sculpts are ancient now, so I'd like to see some newer head sculpts for these guys. But then we also have a look at some championship basics here. Now, nothing to shatter the earth here, but you know those championship basics that send out to Ross and Ollie's and places like that. We have a Cody Rhodes here in that Top Picks Elite Evel Knievel style gear, but he comes with the Undisputed Championship with Cody Rhodes side plates and stuff, so you could add that. I really like the way these look mid on card, but you have that smiling head sculpt. You also have Randy Orton, who comes with the big gold. Now, very interesting how they're kind of mixing eras here. So we have a more of a modern Randy Orton with a classic big gold, which I thought was odd. And then in the last figure, it is a John Cena in that Never Give Up 20-year shirt and hat, which we've seen released before. But then they gave him a Dole Spinner Championship. So they're kind of mixing eras on these different championship basics. But they're all solid. I like the way all the championships look. And I know that, I don't know, all these look really good. These basics and these championship lines are a great idea to get championships in there and stuff like that, especially if you can get them for a better price. But I like these figures. I like these figures even though they are mixing some eras and stuff like that. But we are wrapping the last thing up with these retro figures, man. So we do have a look at the next upcoming retro wave, I think coming to Ringside Collectibles in a couple months. These are the retro 3-pack of CM Punk, Jesse Ventura, and Cody Rhodes. And all three of these I'm actually a big fan of. I think that the Cody Rhodes is a perfect representation of him. The Jesse Ventura is very colorful. Love the pants, love the tuxedo or the jacket, blazer with the zebra print. And then the CM Punk is kind of a retro equivalent of the Elite 121 that we just reviewed. So all three of these retros are actually pretty damn good, man. I like all three of these in their own ways. They all look good. The classic colors, the head sculpts look good. Men on card, they look really good as well. So I'm all aboard these. I don't know if I'm going to be grabbing them necessarily right off rip, but I do like these a lot. So if you're interested in these, I think these may already be up for pre-order, man. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe they're not. I think these went up for pre-order yesterday, though. So this is, just the release of the image gallery here. But there are some cool pieces. There are some cool pieces here, man. I like some of the aspects here. But that is every single figure that was revealed in this new Mattel gallery, man. I'd love to know what you guys think of all these things. What are you liking? What are you disliking? I mean, I'm really hyped for a lot of these things. Coliseum collection. The new Elite Roman Reigns, I'm really excited to see if, doing a head swap is going to fix that guy, because I really like that new sculpted gauntlets, having those ultimate boots, the new torso, finally getting to see that. But I think the real test is going to be seeing the top picks figure, because we're getting those new head sculpts, and I think that's going to be kind of the selling point for me to see that. But I do like the way it looks here, and I figured that top picks figure would be a re-release of the Elite 123, and I guess that is exactly what we're getting, except the head sculpts will be different, so that'll kind of change it up for you there. But that is all we have for WWE action figure news, man. I'd love to know what your thoughts are here on everything down in the comment section below. You can chime in down below of what you like, what you dislike. How do you think about Elite Series 123 and all these new additions? But I'm getting the hell out of here, man. A huge shout out to Mattel for hooking us up with this gallery early so we could take a look at it for you guys and post it up. And then a huge shout out to the Patreon members, man. Thank you guys so very much for your support as always. But I'm getting the hell out of here, man. It is so late. I had to do double duty. I had to review Will Ospreay and then immediately do this video. So I was up for 7 straight hours editing and video. It's a ton of work, man. So leave a like on the video. If you watched to this point, man, I'd greatly appreciate a comment and a like on the video to push this video out to as many people as possible, to as many collectors. But I appreciate you, man. I'm getting out. I'll see you guys next time. Have a blessed one, and I'll catch you guys later.